Welcome everybody to JCTV. We are live here at Watkins Glen International. I'm Josh Copperell. I'm joined by Dawson Allen. How's it going, Dawson?
Doing pretty good, Josh. I'm excited for another race here in the Slide Job Racing League. We had a pretty exciting race last week at Homestead, but things are changing up a little bit this week because we're going road course racing, not just left turns. They got some right turns starting there as well.
Yeah, this is really going to show who is, good at making those right-handers. Who is kind of our road course specialist. And so far, you're watching right there, Austin J. McGill. He currently sits P1 on the practice charts with a 1 minute 11.59 second lap time. Last week out, though, you and we saw a thriller at Homestead. Ben Lacey looking like he was about to win the race and then got caught up in an accident down the back straightaway. And it was a photo finish between Noah Mayuri just coming up just short, 0.02 of a second to race winner Bridger Olson. Or I apologize.
Michael Thorpe Jr.
Michael Thorpe, yeah, Michael Thorpe.
Yeah, Michael Thorpe Jr., 0.02 of a second ahead of Noah Mayuri, the closest finish of the Slide Job Racing League as a whole. So very exciting finish indeed. It's the closest margin of finish we saw. It was like a Craven and Kurt Busch situation. It was such a close finish. They got so close to each other at the end, and it was really great. But of course, you mentioned too the heartbreak for that driver, the number 7, Ben Lacey. Leading the way, pretty much had that race locked up and won till an incident with a lapped car who had spun out on the track. Cost him his race as he tried to gas it back up to the bottom. But as we come into tonight's race, we got a lot of new faces here for tonight's race that I noticed. And of course they're guys that I know as well. Oscar Enriquez, Brett Bennett, and Brian Smith are in here tonight. Those are 3 names that if you watch any other racing league on JCTV, you would know those names. They run in the Juggernaut Truck Series as well as the Independence News Truck Series. Making their series debut here tonight, I believe Michael Kruger also was going to try to make his debut tonight, but that's to be determined. He's got 10 seconds to get it loaded up in here, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's going to be able to make it, but on practice, it's winding down. We're about to head into qualifying, and before we do, Dawson, who do you think is the road course specialist that gets it done tonight?
It's going to be hard to pick. I haven't seen these guys on road courses. I've just seen them on ovals so far. But I'm going to go out and say that 5th place in practice. I think it's going to be Dalton Kilroe who gets it done here tonight.
Pretty good pick. I, myself, am going to go with Ben Lacey. Sitting P2 on the practice charts. We saw him just come up. Looking like he was going to win last week. Just unfortunate issues. He has won a race already this season, being Phoenix. It was a spin and win situation. He definitely is. He's hungry after last week, trying to get his 2nd win of the season. I think Ben Lacey's going to have it. But right here, we watch Oscar Enriquez. He was one of the first cars out. Oscar, as Dawson mentioned, one of the newcomers here tonight. Bennet's actually right on board here with Austin J. McGill, as he is starting his first lap here. Going into turn 1. 90-degree corner. Through the S's. A little tricky here to get this part mastered. And full speed down the back straightaway into the bus stop. Quick right, left, right. Now you want to wrap around the carousel here. No surprise seeing Austin J. McGill take that little access road, or access area, over on the left. And now down into turn 6, another right, 90-degree left-hander, and turn 7. 90-degree right-hander leads you down the front straightaway. At the line. That's going to put Austin P1 so far.
Yeah, you see 2 other drivers set a lap time. Brian Dees, Oscar Enriquez. Dees a little bit closer than Enriquez was. As you can see there, Dees with a 1 minute 12 seconds, .799. Enriquez with a minute 13.636. And Zach Probst, oh my goodness, watching him here, he just lost it in the bus stop and has slammed the wall. Not going to help him out here for qualifying. Looks like he overshot the bus stop, got loose, and just, a terrible crash for the 62 of Zach Probst. He will not be able to set a lap time down, at least his first go-around. He'll have to go one final time if he can get it. Ben Lacey, however, goes to the point here on his first lap. Is Jamie, I think it's pronounced Plord. They put a lap time down as well. Dalton Kilroe comes across, 4th fastest so far.
And Austin J. McGill going to cross the line, go back up to P1. We will ride and watch Ben Lacey here as he's through the carousel. See if he is once again able to overtake McGill for the top position. Through turn 6 and now into turn 7. And Ben Lacey is not going to try to improve. Here we are with Ty Marasco up through the S's. Dalton Kilroe actually is going to overtake Ben Lacey for the 2nd position and put Thorpe ahead, as well as now Bridger Olson. Ben Lacey dropping like a rock. We stay with Ty Marasco. And it is going to be P10 on the board so far for Marasco. Here's the driver, Zach Gammon. He's come so close to winning. Had an early exit in last week's race. Gammon would love to get a win here in the Slide Job Racing League. Season 9. Through the carousel he goes. To the line. Gammon is gonna go P7 on the board so far. On the other hand, back to Ben Lacey. Lacey actually reset his car. Try to get another lap full speed here. It's Ben Lacey off turn 7. See if Lacey's able to improve. Currently P5. And that's where he will stay.
Yeah, looking right now, Ben Lacey looks like he's out there just churning laps down to see if he can get the track down to a T. You see Brian Smith, the only other car active on track. He's on pit road, so it looks like all we got left is that 7 car out there just turning some extra laps, getting some extra practice in here before this race starts.
And this is not a bad idea either for Ben Lacey. Just get a couple last-minute laps. Extra practice time.
Coming up in just 30 seconds to go here in qualifying. As we watch Ben Lacey continue to just put some laps down, get a little more track time, as much as you can get here before this race. Such a tricky track, but a great track as well. Very fun to race here, very fun to watch the racing here. And if you have never ran or watched a race at Watkins Glen, you are surely missing out on a lot of fun action.
This track is definitely a blast to drive in iRacing, one of the best road courses. Take these stock cars to on the sim. But it is going to be Austin J. McGill, tonight's pole winner here at Watkins Glen.
Gonna start on the pole, driver of the 21. And Josh, what do you say we take a look at the starting grid here? 19 cars ready to do battle here at this historic track.
Yeah, it's starting grid. So, as mentioned, McGill will be P1. Bridger Olson will start to his outside in P2. Dalton Kilroe, P3. Michael Thorpe Jr., P4. And Ben Lacey, P5.
Starting in the 6th position is Brian Dees. In 7th is Zach Amon. Davey Hendricks starts P8. Oscar Enriquez 9th, and Brett Bennett rounds out the top 10.
Starting in 11th is going to be Ty Marasco. P12, Jamie Plord. 13th, Michael Aminti. 14th, Blaine Sparling. And 15th, Brian C. Smith.
Rounding out that field here. Looking at it here, So showing on my end, Brian C. Smith shows is 16th actually, as Carrick Ball is 15th, Jacob Locklear 17th, Zach Probst 18th, and running out the field, William Turnbull. He is going to start at 19th, rounding out the field. I noticed 2 cars are currently not on the grid. Michael Amenti and Carrick Ball not out here. So right now, 17 cars rolling through this track. And while we're doing our pace laps, what do you say we talk about this track that we have here? Talking about this course. And, you know, all the ins and outs of it. They'll start off that really hard braking zone down into turn 1. That hard right-hand turn leads them up into the S's through 2, 3, and 4. Then they'll go down that long back straightaway. They'll hit the bus stop, the inner loop as it's also called. Followed around to the carousel of turn number 5. They will shoot down another straightaway down into turn 6. Then they'll follow it through with a final right-hand turn, turn number 7, where you'll see a little bit of action maybe as some guys try to make those final passes for positions coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah, this is a very fast road course. And only a couple of passing opportunities. Right here, turn 6 and turn 7, as you were talking about. One of the other really good places to try to pass. Through the S's, you really don't want to try to be too wide, and definitely not into that carousel. Or, I'm sorry, the bus stop just before the carousel. But you can make passes in the carousel if you set that corner
Yeah, that's the last place you want to be side by side is in the bus stop. But right now, the pace car makes that hard right turn to pit road. The green flag is out. We are racing at Watkins Glen.
Great start there by McGill. They're side-by-side P2. Bridger Olsen to the outside. Dalton Kilroe to the inside in that preferred lane. Oh, trouble in the back.
Ready. Big wreck already piling up. The 1, the 17, the 23 involved. Multiple car accident. I think Jacob Locklear got into it as well.
Brian Dees.
Blaine Spalding, Davey Hendricks, Ty Marasco was involved. Brian Dees as well. Looking like there are no full course yellows, though. We're going to try to look back and see what happened. I noticed heading into turn 1, Enriquez ran the 17 wide just a little bit, and then maybe some contact. Then they got pinched in with the 1 that sends the 1 into the 17 teammates there. And after that, just catastrophe for some of these cars coming through trying to miss it. I believe that was a blessing for Michael Amenti missing this. William Turnbull was involved as well. That is the 59, Blaine Sparling, with some heavy contact and heavy damage as well, wiping out a lot of drivers early on here. And another spin. Ben Lacey's around on the short chute, heading into turn 7 now. But he gets it back going. Looks like he just lost it all by himself. Looked like a battle with the 47 of Brett Bennett, trying to get underneath, couldn't get it down, and just lost it, lost the rear end. And by the way, it's only lap 1.
Yeah, that was a wild start to this race. Austin McGill, he was in the best position possible, but he has Dalton Kilroe running him down.
A lot of chaos early here as I see Ty Marasco is on pit road. Michael Amenti looks like he is either on pit road or he just hasn't put a lap down yet. As he started from pit road. Looks like there he is on track right now. Currently scored in the 15th position.
Right now, biggest mover so far is Zach Probst, 17th to 7th. A couple laps in, Probst is chasing down, or trying to chase down, Oscar Enriquez for 56. Four just ahead. Go ahead, Dawson.
As I say, Zach Probst, a big benefactor of that incident there in turn 2. He was right back there in the midst of all that, but he was able to shoot through everything. He shot the gap, and he made it work, and he flew all the way up to that 7th position. Just a lot of good moves by this 62 machine as he continues his march to the front. But Zach Probst currently 7th as the race goes on.
Austin McGill still leading Dalton Kilrow. Just a little over a second. And he is faster than Kilrow. Kilrow closes in a little bit going into turn 1. Zach Probst is putting a little bit of pressure on Enriquez.
The driver starting to put pressure. Zach Gammon is closing the gap between himself and Michael Thorpe Jr. This is for the 4th position. As that battle happens back in the back there, this is a fight for 5th. Or for 4th, excuse me. Michael Thorpe Jr. chasing Zach Gammon.
And behind, Probst was able to get around Enriquez. But you are watching him on. Just stalking Michael Thorpe Jr. Thorpe running a little bit wider out of the S's. These two very similar in speed.
Running on board with Zach Gammon as he hunts down last week's winner, Michael Thorpe Jr. We saw him win the Oval. So we'll have to see what he can do trying to hold off this driver of the 54.
Thing I am very curious about, Dawson, is the strategy these guys are going to have for pit stops. These guys, they do run a reduced fuel tank. I think they might have to pit twice.
Yeah, it'll be a game of strategy to see who can do what to make it there. We'll have to definitely see. But the thing is, I think there is supposed to be a caution coming here, a guaranteed caution. If I read it right, there will be a competition caution on lap 10, actually. Yes, indeed. So we'll see a caution come out with lap 10 of this race. So in about 4 laps, the yellow flag will be displayed. But you see, Amon is not giving up on this battle with Thorpe. He is still right there with him, trying to make the pass. Peeking out first, then ducking back in line behind this 34, heading down into turn 1.
Noticing Amon is running a little bit wider over the rumble strips in 1. And I was looking at the incident limit, and there is none. These guys do not have an incident limit. The one thing about iRacing is you will get an incident point if you go too wide. And Amon had a horrible bus stop chicane there. That's going to cost him a lot of time to Michael Thorpe Jr. But a lot of the off areas will give you an incident point. Right here is the other area, and you see Amon running a little bit wider, but no incident limits here. So I'm wondering how much we're going to see some drivers really push that issue and how far they take turns 1 and 6.
I think you'll see it a lot, especially on the restart that we have coming at lap 10, after lap 10's caution. We'll definitely see it, but something else I'm looking at too right now, looking back at 10th place, the rebound back to 10th for Ben Lacey. He has been making moves through the field to get by some of these slower cars. He now finds himself in the 10th position after passing that 38 of Jamie Plord and the 84 of Jacob Locklear. So he's been able to make moves, making it back up to the top 10, but another battle I see as well, the battle for second is starting to heat up. Dalton Kilroe's been losing time to Bridger Olsen, and now just about 0.5 of a second, the gap between second and third. Kilroe's going to have to hold on. This 0-2 is coming.
Only a couple more to go before that caution is thrown. As they have completed 8 laps. Once again, the battle for 4th place. Zach Amon has caught up, back up to Michael Thorpe Jr. You see Amon really using that area off of 1 into 2.
It's the classic saying, I bought the whole track, I'm going to use the whole track, and that's what Zach Amon is doing. Now coming to the inside of Michael Thorpe Jr., setting him up for this bus stop. He's side by side with him. The 34 gets on the curb. He's going to run him a little wide, and Amon's going to have to back off and retreat and come back again later. That 34 took a defensive line into the bus stop and held off Zach Amon, excuse me. But now that 54 is back on the hunt.
That scared me just a little bit there, Dawson. I was thinking in my head an incident that happened in real life going into the bus stop chicane earlier this season. But Zach Amon, he's going to come down pit road as well as 41 Dalton Kilroe. Zach Probst down pit road as well.
And they know a caution is coming here in the next lap or so. And they're going to try to make a gamble and jump out in front of the rest of these guys that are not pitting. You see Oscar Enriquez. It's Brian G. Smith, Ben Lacey. Looks like Brett Bennett. All on pit road. As Zach Amon pulls off pit road, he will rotate out of there 7th right now. Austin McGill still leading the way here, as he should come around and get the caution at the conclusion of this lap.
There we go, McGill at the line. Heading into turn 1, the caution is waving. Michael Amenti just made it off pit road in time not to go a lap down. Dalton Kilroe, though. Kilroe did go a lap down there.
I imagine that has to do with maybe that lap 1 incident. I don't think he was involved in it, though, was the thing. That's why I didn't really put too much into it, but he very well could have had some part of damage from it. Looking back, though, he was ahead of all the carnage. So I'm wondering where all this could have been, if it might have been a black flag even. But even then, I don't think that was the case. No idea what would have held this 41 car back.
He might have had a black flag for speeding into the pits. I'm noticing his pit time was a 64-second lap time in pit road. Or in his stall, actually. So that is huge there for Dalton Kilrow. As McGill catches up to the pace car and the rest of the guys trying to do the same. So far, it has been all Austin J. McGill, starting on the pole, leading every lap so far.
Going back and looking at the pit entrance for this 41 of Dalton Kilrow, he might have got it at the very start of pit road. It looks like he might have blipped it a little too hard. But outside of that, I don't think he really got that far over at that long enough time, to get that. But I guess it might have got him for that, or it might have been just something else. But 41 in the end winds up a lap down. He should get the free pass here this time around, but it's definitely going to be a deficit for this 41 of Dalton Kilrow to get back into it.
Yeah, he'll have to come around. All the cars still running if he takes the wave around.
He was serving a penalty. That is the clarification. I'm trying to look and see what he's just been. They're talking. Excuse me. They're talking over the radio right now.
So pit road should be open here for anybody who chooses to pit. Come down, take tires, fuel, if they choose. As you see, everybody coming on down.
I'm going to say right now, it's looking like this 41 is not going to get his lap back. He's saying over the comms that it's telling everybody, tell him to let everybody else pass. And that allowed the 62 Zach Probst around. So I don't know if he's going to get his lap back here. It's looking kind of slim margins for him to get back on the lead lap.
Race off pit road. It's going to be close, I think. I think Austin J. McGill just came off behind Bridger Olson. Let's go ahead and bring in Austin McGill, though. Hey, Austin, it's the boys up at the booth. Got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Started on the pole, so far led every lap. It is a road course making right-hand turns. How's that car feeling?
It's feeling pretty good right now. It's just a bit tight through the S's. Other than that, it's been pretty good.
A little bit of a different strategy here than some of the guys that came down pit road, so I'm going to have your work cut out for you trying to get by these guys, but you proved to be the fastest car so far. Has this changed strategy just a little bit, trying to get back up to the front, knowing that there are 6 guys just ahead of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a bit more cautious now. I'll actually have to pass some people. Obviously, different strategy played a part in them getting ahead of us. Pitting before the comp caution came out, which was actually pretty smart for track position. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there. Maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that was Austin J. McGill. Driver the number 21. And until that pit sequence happened there, that led every lap.
You notice too there on the outside lane, Dalton Kilroe is being told to drop back to the rear, so bad to worse for the 41. He is not going to get the free pass, not going to wave around. He'll be forced to be a lap down in this race.
That is tough.
He's not happy. He's not happy on the comms right now.
It does not look like we'll have another caution either. And so right now, the only way Kilroe could advance any positions is by capitalizing on others' misfortunes. We are going to go back to green with 31 laps to go. Probst, Enriquez, Lacey, Smith, and Bennett is the top 5. Austin J. McGill, of course, restarting in 7th position. Fastest car so far. I'm very curious here, Dawson, how he is going to be able to cut through the field, get back up there to the lead.
Well, I think we're going to see somebody make a move of desperation here to turn 1 very early while the field is bunched up. It's going to be a quick move that somebody's not going to be able to capitalize on, too, I think. We're going to have to see as it comes around here, coming into 6 before the restart.
And the pace car going to make the right-hand turn out of turn 7 down to pit road.
Leaving the field in the hands of Zach Probst. Oscar Enriquez coming down to the Geico restart zone. A big launch by Zach Probst as the green flag is back in the air.
A great restart by Probst. Look at them fanning out behind.
They're 3 wide back there. I can see they're fanning out almost 4 wide for a second. Everybody duking it out for positions they can get. That 0-2 of Bridger Olsen, though, is going for a spot here. Going around the 47 of Brett Bennett with Austin McGill in tow. Oh, contact! McGill into Bennett! Slides up a little bit. That's going to cost him a spot to Michael Thorpe Jr. Contact with a 47. Oh, spinning as well. Brian Smith around in the bus stop. Back off over on the side. He is going to tow, and that might do it for Brian C. Smith out of this race. It looks like towing to pit road.
That is very unfortunate for Brian. Austin McGill trying to make a move around Michael Thorpe. Thorpe
will.
Yeah, I think Thorpe pulled to the side a little bit. Allowed McGill to get by. McGill now going to attack Brett Bennett for P7.
And a quick pass by Austin McGill by Brett Bennett. That is for 5th.
Riding on board here with McGill.
As that happens, battle for the lead, pass for the lead. Ben Lacey clears Zach Probst into the bus stop now, and Probst spins it. Probst is loose, spins it to the outside, hits the wall. A big hit for Probst now. Damage to the left front as he limps it around the outside of the carousel.
He might have a broken toe.
Another issue for a driver coming to the bus stop. He just gets loose and slams the outside tire barriers there. And that will do it for the 62.
That is very unfortunate for Probst. Trying to see. Find the incident. I'm not seeing it. But currently, Ben Lacey is your leader. 29 laps to go in this race. Ben Lacey, of course, having that issue very early on in the race where he went for a little spin. Was able to keep the car clean, though. And he is several car lengths ahead of Bridger Olson, Oscar Enriquez, Austin McGill, and Michael Thorpe Jr.
Yeah, Thorpe made a pass there on Brett Bennett just now, but you're wanting to look back and see what happened to Brian C. Smith coming into the bus stop on the restart. He just overshot it, jumped over the curbs, then an overcorrection leads to him nosing it into the inside wall there in the bus stop. That's what took him out of it. But then a lap later, Zach Probst, that same corner, that same exact turn that Brian C. Smith had issues with, Probst has an issue this time. He drifts to the outside of the track and slams the outside wall that will put him on pit road, taking him out of the equation.
Brett Bennett and Zach Gammon saw there making a little bit of contact. Bennett now battling with Jamie Plord. Dalton Kilrow, of course, not on the same lap. Still trying to turn laps. Oh, spin Zach Gammon! Loses it in the bus stop.
Looks like he carried too much speed. The same issue we saw with Brian C. Smith hopping that curb, but this time he shoots around and is able to spin it, and he keeps it. No, he doesn't. He backed it into the wall, actually. But a hard hit there for the 54. Zach Gammon, he has an issue now as well, and he is going to probably struggle his way around the track now. It's what it's going to take. It's going to be an attrition race between some of these drivers who can make the least mistakes that will cost them this race.
And Amon is struggling. Amon's just going to tow it back to pit road. So looking at the lap times, Bridger Olson has been faster than race leader Ben Lacey. Olson, fastest car on track the last time by. Still a 1.7 second gap between the two.
I'll tell you, if there's one guy that's enjoying how this has gone so far, it's the 41, Dalton Kilrow. Of course, not battling for any positions, but you notice there, Zach Gammon didn't just tow, he completely left. He flat out alt F4'd, left the race. He is no longer here, so that's another position. But Dalton Kilrow has found his way up into the 11th position, so he's fringed top 10 already. He needs one more driver to make a mistake, and he will have a top 10 at least for this race.
As I mentioned not too long ago, you know, the unfortunate thing for Kilrow is he can't really gain any positions other than the unfortunate mishaps of others. And so far, Probst having an issue, Zach Gammon having an issue. That's gained Kilrow 2 positions right there in the last few laps since we have restarted.
Tell you though, I'm watching the battle. It's getting ready to heat up for the lead. Ben Lacey being stalked by both Bridger Olson and Austin McGill. They're both trying to close the gap here on our race leader.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think that the slightly fresher tires out of Olson and McGill is a huge advantage here. One thing I have learned is tires at road courses don't matter as much as tires at other tracks with the Cup cars. We know Olson and McGill have been really fast so far. Ben Lacey Try and keep it ahead of the 2, though.
Yeah, Lacey's going to want this win here tonight. A win in this race would make him first multi-race winner of the season. After he won at Phoenix, and of course the heartbreak last week at Homestead. So looking to get his second win of the season, but also hunting behind. Can't discount it. The 0-2, Bridger Olson. He is currently second. He would be going for his second win as well. Meanwhile, third place, Austin McGill, the man who is dominant so far in the early goings, running in third. He is going for his first win of the season.
See there, McGill, of course, starting the race from the pole. Led the majority of the laps. Start this race. Currently P3.
It doesn't you as much as it's messing with me. Double trouble with the paint schemes. Jamie Plord and Michael Laminti both running the Tide scheme. Definitely had to catch myself from saying Laminti. As you see, the 38 goes really wide there off of turn 6. Trying to get by the 56 of Oscar Enriquez.
Yeah, Jamie Plord has been a little bit faster than Enriquez. But they both seem to be running the same line so far. See if Plord makes a move on Enriquez going to turn 1. Plord is close enough. See if he does. He kind of steps out just a little bit. Not able to. Enriquez might have locked the tires just a little bit there. That's going to open up the door for Plord. They have a lap car just ahead. Great job on Plord not to make the move, seeing that lap car. William Turnbull just ahead of them as they easily get by him. Oh! Turnbull going for a ride right in front of the field. Brett Bennett gonna miss the chicane. Great job in the awareness there not to have that turn worse for Brett Bennett. Bennett under attack from Jacob Locklear, though, as they will be side by side going into 6.
Yeah, that was that was definitely a scary moment. If you had to go back and look at that replay, that 44, if Brett Bennett tries to make that corner, he may not be continuing on. Just look how close it gets. If you can get a camera on that backside, that 44 just almost clips Brett Bennett and collects him, but he just missed it. He had to miss the bus stop for it. But I think he'd rather miss the bus stop, but he's spinning in turn 1 in front of the 84. Scary situation there for Brett Bennett. I see it looked like we had another issue. Was that another driver having an issue on the track right there?
That was a previous replay that having issues with camera controls. I do apologize for that.
Yeah, I was trying to watch your side of things as well. See what the folks at home are seeing as well as watch my side. I see you showing a guy spinning the bus stop. I was like, whoa, now. But alas, you're just you got a little too far woed up in the background. But looking ahead, the race lead right now, Ben Lacey still holding strong out front. And I've noticed it's kind of equalized or fallen off for Bridger Olson, who's now losing time to our race leader. But someone who's not losing time is the 21 of Austin McGill, still setting the fastest laps on track right now, is that 21. But not exponentially faster. It's just been bit by bit, piece by piece, but he's getting closer and closer to that 0-2 of Bridger Olson. So it's going to be a battle, uphill battle, I should say, for this 21 to get to second and then to the lead.
And I'm not really sure. Again, I mentioned it earlier when these guys may have to pit. But you know, pit stops looming some point in the future of this race. That could change things as well. If Lacey is able to hold on, try some strategies. See, I'm very curious to know if anybody's going to take tires. Bridger Olsen, though, I was way wide there going into turn 6. I'm wondering if he had a moment. I heard some tires squealing.
And looking back and seeing the 0-2, just got in a little too hot in turn 6, went way wide and had to get back into it, but that's allowed the 21 to close up, now ready to pounce, battling for a second here, heading into the bus stop.
This could be good news for Ben Lacey. Olsen and McGill battle.
Really the only other on-track battle at this moment, the battle for, looks like 7th. Brian Dees closing in on Jacob Locklear. We saw Brian Dees earlier on involved in that lap 1 incident, but able to get some repairs done, but able to kind of close back in to battle for position. So right now the battle, but of course it looks like a battle for the second position now. Finally, the 21 gets around him.
That didn't take long at all.
The 0-2 went wide into turn 1. Break too late, and then allowed the 21 to capitalize. He took over the second spot, and now Austin McGill is going to focus on the race lead.
They are coming to 18 laps to go when they do hit the stripe. Still just over a 3.5 second gap between the lead and second place. Ben Lacey, Austin J. McGill.
Oh, the 0-2 trying to break deep into the corner. Overdrive it again, trying to get right on the back bumper of Austin McGill. You see him run wide there in turn 1. And that's going to allow the 21 to start gapping him.
We go back to battle for 7th. Brian Dees about a car length behind Jacob Locklear. These guys just trying to keep their cars clean. Once again, I've been watching the lap times. Ben Lacey has been the fastest on track last couple times around, and once again, faster than Austin J. McGill. So McGill able to get up to P2, but losing time ever so slightly to Ben Lacey. And that does not help his cause to go up there and try to regain the lead. 17 laps left in this race.
And we're looking at lap times. Looking and seeing the past couple laps, the second fastest car on track has been Dalton Kilrow in the 41. Second fastest lap that last time by, and he's been bounced around between first and second fastest the whole time, so you gotta wonder, if not for that penalty and having to be forced a lap down, if his 41 would be a factor in this battle as well. He has been running through the field, at least in terms of everybody he's been around. And is just now getting past Michael Thorpe Jr.
On the other side of things, Brian Dees did come down pit road for what should be his last stop of the race. And now I'm looking to see who might follow, but so far, top three staying out on the racetrack.
Fifth place, Jimmy Plord looks like he might have thought about it coming back up the track. Looks like nobody's going down yet. Nobody is yet pulled to the right. Another taker, Brett Bennett, the next driver on pit road here.
Let's see, Brian Dees had a 6-second stop. Let's see what Brett Bennett does. Brett Bennett in his stall. And little issue getting into his stall.
Ben Lacey continues to lead, does not pull down pit road this time. It's Austin J. McGill, Bridger Olson all going to forego pit road, but faster lap times for that 21. He is coming now. A minute 11. That is a blazing fast lap compared to the race leader right now with a minute 12.4.
And Bridger Olson actually faster than McGill and Lacey.
Yeah, both of them blazing fast laps that time by, so Lacey's absolutely slowed up a little more. That's allowing those two to close in a little more now.
And as much as McGill wants to play offense, he has to play a little bit of defense to try and keep Olson behind as well.
All three came through turn 7 sideways. Sliding the back tires, trying to keep it going straight. As the battle is starting to heat up, get a little more intense, they are closing in on the race leader.
Once again, Bridger Olson faster than the two leaders. McGill a 10th faster than Lacey. Olson a 10th faster than McGill.
I've yet to see anybody else pulling down pit road yet. I'm wondering if these guys are going to wait to get a splash and go at the end of this race, or if they think they can make it. Thus far, two drivers coming down pit road. Brian Dees, Brett Bennett, they are 8th and 10th. Bennett is down a lap. Dees is currently 59 seconds behind the race lead, so if the leaders pit, it's not going to be enough for him to close the gap, but we'll have to see what the race leaders do when they opt to come down pit road. I see right now, there we go! Austin McGill to pit road! That's going to be the first big domino. The 21 car opting to pull down pit road. As we'll see more of the field, looks like they're going to forego it so far. Watching the time here for this 21 coming down pit road. Heading for his pit stall. And now in. Looks like it's going to be a tire change here. Might be a Ford tire stop. Indeed, it is. A long stop for the 21, actually. Gonna look back and see, did he get caught for too fast entering pit road? Don't believe he is, but it's a long stop here for the 21. Passing a 44-second stop right now for Austin McGill. So big trouble for the 21 as the leaders come down pit road. Ben Lacey, Bridger Olson now rolling down pit road.
And McGill finally rolling out of his pit stall. Look at the gap between Lacey and Olson. Lacey taking tires.
It's all about who comes off pit road first. I noticed Lacey taking tires. Olson is not. Olson still in the pit stall here. 17 seconds, 18, 19. Did Olson get a penalty?
He might have, and that's possibly why he's not taking tires here.
ZO2 still on pit road. Looks like another driver with another penalty coming onto pit road. Seems to be tricky to get down to pit road speed, and finally pulling away is Austin McGill, or Bridger Olson, excuse me, a 51-second stop. So obviously having to serve a pit road penalty. A disaster for our second and third place cars coming into this one, as now they will be essentially out of this race.
And Michael Thorpe is current race leader ahead of Jacob Locklear, Oscar Enriquez. I believe Oscar has come down pit road. He has. It's Ben Lacey trying to work around Jacob Locklear. You know, Locklear and Thorpe, they have to pit.
I'll tell you what I'm noticing, though, that 7's being held up a little bit by the 84 of Jacob Locklear. Having to be a little bit slower here. 18 seconds of the gap, of course, to get down pit road. It's about a 40-second drive down through pit road to get to your stall. So we'll have to see how Thorpe can cycle out if he has to just get fuel. We'll see how this all plays out for the race leader. But right now, this looks like it's going to be Ben Lacey's race to lose.
And Ben Lacey coming around to the line. It will be 10 to go for him. Michael Thorpe still leading this race. Thorpe going into the carousel. See if he elects to come down this time or stay out. Another lap.
Thorpe coming through turn 7. Looks like he's slowing up. He's coming to pit road. And Dalton Kilroe just came over the radio. He's just complaining about being bumped for the speeding, but he's not the only one this time. Everybody hit. He wasn't the only one. 3 of the fastest contenders in this race had issues. Kilroe, Olson, and McGill, all with issues on pit road that led to them being now 37 seconds off of the race leader, Ben Lacey. Thorpe pulls off pit road. Locklear's on it, but now Brian Dees is going to cycle around to what would be third and possibly second, as he's going to have to hunt down Michael Thorpe Jr. He's got a bit of a ways to go. 8 seconds the gap.
Oh, issues once again for William Turnbull.
Into the S's there, and that looks like it's right in front of Brian Dees. He's gonna keep rolling here, but I don't like seeing that, because then you've got 2 cars coming behind him. Oscar Enriquez and Bridger Olson coming behind this slower, damaged car. The 44 of William Turnbull. And he's gonna miss the bus stop again, rolling through it right in front of 2 of the guys battling for position. Not what you want to see if you are trying to get some spots here at the end of this race, like Bridger Olson is, going for a top 5 on Oscar Enriquez.
And Olson pulls to the inside. As Olson will make a move around Enriquez. Olson back into the top 5 now. Olson lockup, getting through turn 1.
As the 44 makes it to pit road, 18 seconds the gap for Ben Lacey over Michael Thorpe Jr. Coming to 7 to go this time by. And again, though, this is Ben Lacey's race to lose. We saw it last week. Leading the way for the longest time there at the end. He pretty much had the race won, but then a lap car spinning, bringing out the caution, but then firing it back up, trying to get rolling again, right in the way of the 7 car, taking him out of the race. But this would definitely be a bittersweet one to get the win after last week, but he's still got 7 laps. Now, he's still got to navigate this track without any issues, but a 19-second gap is pretty good, I'd say, over second place Michael Thorpe Jr., last week's winner.
Yeah, Dawson, I do a lot of spotting for drivers on iRacing, and I have a really good spotting record at road courses. And right about now, I'm telling my driver, hey, there's 7. You're coming to 6 laps to go. You have a 19.5-second lead. I don't want to see you push at all. You have time to lose here. Just keep that car in one piece. We're going to win. And 6 laps to go. That's exactly what Lacey needs to do. Just stay calm here. Make no mistakes. He can back up every corner if he chooses to.
Yeah, Lacey can run 75% the rest of this way and still win handily. A 20-second gap now between himself and Michael Thorpe Jr.
See Thorpe just now getting into the S's. We have a battle between McGill and Locklear. McGill on the outside of Locklear. Locklear breaks early to allow McGill to get by. Locklear locked it up just a little bit. Now McGill has his sights set on Enriquez to break into 6th place. He has a 2-second gap and 6 laps to get there.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say that McGill will have a good shot at going for 6th place here, closing the gap rapidly on Oscar Enriquez as he rolls through the bus stop. Coming up on that 56 car, of Oscar Enriquez, who's had a pretty solid run here for his debut race. It's not been an amazing run, I would say, but it's been a run where you can pat yourself on the back and say you had a good run. You weren't really any issue. You were here, and you were just turning your laps and doing your time. So right now showing in the 6th position, but with paddle and pressure from Austin McGill coming behind, Enriquez has another spot he'll be dropping here soon, I believe.
Yeah, and Enriquez will stay to the left. McGill trying to make a move, not quite able to. McGill staying patient through the S's.
Over the radio, a call for debris just made by Brett Bennett, saying he thought he saw some signage on the track, but of course, he's nowhere near the truth on that one. Even if there was, we'd still run it. We're not going to caution for that one.
McGill has the inside through the carousel. Enriquez trying to fight back on that outside.
And as we got 4 laps to go here, we need the modifieds out back for the feature. We definitely want to see another race here. Modifieds at Watkins Glen, that was a fun one last week. And, you know, this race is kind of setting up to be that same kind of way. It was, at least. And then we had some issues with both our drivers that were going to contend for the win as well, with Ben Lacey, Bridger Olson, Austin McGill. Too fast on pit road. Put them now into 5th and 6th, and Bridger Olson has a chance to go for 4th. He is about 2.5 seconds behind 4th place Jamie Plord. Coming out of the backstreet with 3 to go. But right now, again, Lacey just needs to put together 3 good laps, no mistakes. And everybody else is just going to have to watch from a distance.
Three laps to go, as you said. No mistake whatsoever. Jacob Locklear closing in on Oscar Enriquez.
Bridger Olson as well, gaining on Jamie Plord for the 4th position. So definitely a tough day for this O2 team. Had the speed to be contending for the win. Gonna have to settle for a 4th place finish just off the podium. Right now, Brian D's 3rd. He's going through the bus stop as they just now exit the S's. This battle for 4th still heating up.
Bridger Olson running a little bit wider than Plord through the carousel. Still trying to put together faster lap. Plord off turn 6, maybe a little too soon, cost him a little bit of time. Better turn 7 there for Plord over Olson. And Olson's going to lock it up. Plord locked it up a little bit too.
They almost made contact there, able to keep it off each other and keep this battle alive, heading to the S's now with 2 laps to go. As they battle through the S's, coming through turn 7. They'll get the white flag this time by Ben Lacey. Leading at the white is Bridger Olson, battling. Looks like he's going to make the pass. That is for 4th, heading through the bus stop. And does he have enough time? I don't think he does. 4 seconds the gap to 3rd place. The 17 of Brian Dees. Looks like this one's all but settled here and where they are running.
Meanwhile, through the S's for the final time. Now down the back straightaway off the S's. It was a spin and win at Phoenix. He had a self-spin at Phoenix, kept the car clean. Had a self-spin here tonight, once again, keeping the car clean. out of the carousel. Only 2 more turns to go, and Ben Lacey is a 2-time winner this season. No mistakes here.
Could have had the win last week. A dominant car taken out of contention with 4 to go by a lapper wrecking, and that was a heartbreaker. But coming through turn 7 for the final time, he's going to hold off, mistake-free. Ben Lacey coming to the start finish line. He'll win his 2nd race of the season here at Watkins Glen.
Great job out of Ben Lacey. Go back to P2. Michael Thorpe Jr. off turn 7. Michael Thorpe crosses the line. P2. Brian Dees. Trouble early. A lot of damage to the front of his Chevrolet. Bring it home P3. Bridger Olson 4th.
Richard Olson 4th, Jamie Plurd 5th, Austin McGill 6th, Oscar Enriquez looks like he held on to finish 7th. Jacob Locklear bringing it home 8th, and Brett Bennett will be the final car around the corners. He's the last car that'll have to finish the lap as he comes through turn 7 for the final time. In his debut race as well, he'll get a top 10. Brett Bennett, the fastest driver around, he brings it home 9th. But up front, the celebration has already begun for Ben Lacey. He turned it around right there into turn 1, did a couple burnouts. Did a little bit of burning it out here in turn 1. And I think he's just waiting for everybody else to come through before continuing on with his celebration.
And here was right after he crossed the checkered, while everybody else was finishing. And he still sits in that position.
He's awaiting everybody else, I think, to clear off the track so he can go have some fun.
And there he goes.
To the 44 doing burnouts with him too. Ben Lacey able to get the win. It was a rough first lap for this 7 car. Getting spun in the bus stop and then spinning on turn 6. But now he brings it home and he'll win it here at Watkins Glen. Burning it out with Michael Thorpe Jr. But let's see if we can get a hold of our 3rd place finisher, Brian Dees, with a good run here today. See if we can talk to him about how this race went for him. Hey, Brian Dees, is the boys up in the booth? You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Alrighty, well, the 3rd place finish probably doesn't tell the whole story about what happened. The lap 1 incident, it looked like you might have been out of it. But you were able to come back and get 3rd place. What was that run like there? First off, that run into the first turn with all those issues that happened there heading in, out of turn 1.
I actually haven't even watched the replay yet, so I don't even know what happened. You guys probably know better than I do. I know my teammate was involved, Ty Marasco. I don't know. He said it looked like, or it seemed like maybe he got run into and then he bounced into me. I don't know. Maybe you guys can confirm or deny that. But from there on out, I mean, the crew chief told me that I had some wheel damage. The car felt all right. I knew I was way down on straight line speed, but it looked like I had the downforce and I was able to keep speed in the corners. So my strategy was pretty much just make it to the competition caution, take as much damage as I could, try to get the car back to as fast as possible. I think I still had, at the end of the race, I think I still had like 2.5 minutes or something of optional repairs. But apparently it was fast enough to hold these guys off. I think keeping the tires on the car was a big thing. I think with the sim, the tires don't really work the way they properly should. Seems like the longer you go on a run, the faster they get. So I didn't take tires the entire race. So I think that probably helped me gain a few spots in the pits.
Yeah, I must say you were able to get a lot of spots there through that run. But in the end of it, you still come home P3. So great run today. Anybody want to shout out sponsors, teammates? What got it done for you today? Get third place finish.
Yeah, I gotta thank my teammates at MFRD, and thank the man himself, Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. He sponsors the cars, paints the cars. If you're looking for a paint, look up MF Racing Designs on Facebook. He's the best in the business. And also thanks to all the admins. Again, my teammate Dalton, he was the only admin here tonight, so he kind of had solo duty. So thanks to him for stepping up and, kind of taking charge here for this race.
Alrighty, well, congrats again. Able to rebound. Third place finish for Brian Dees. Congratulations.
And I always forget to mention it until after I'm done and you guys say your goodbye and everything. But thank you to you guys in the booth too. I appreciate the broadcast every week.
Alrighty, Brian Dees, third place here at Watkins Glen.
Thanks.
And Josh, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher, Michael Thorpe Jr.
Indeed, I have P2 finish for you, Michael Thorpe Jr. It was a wild race. Take us through how 34 car handled for you.
It was tight. It was tight most of the run. Just trying to manage. Honestly, I thought I was gonna go for top 5 first couple laps. And it's kind of everybody's getting speeding penalties and everything, so it kind of worked out in my favor. And doing well practicing for this race, but my main wheel actually broke, so I'm on the backup wheel right now. And I'm surprised I got it second with that.
That's pretty impressive there. Get second with a backup wheel. But after 10 laps, caution came out, and it allowed everybody to kind of take a moment as to what they learned through the first 10 laps. So what did you learn that you could use for the rest of the race?
Well, basically just what I learned was trying to back up the corner a little bit more because it was starting to get tight, and learn as the rubber laid down the track. So just try to back up the corners as much as possible, and try to not, bleed out the front tires.
A lot of penalties given out to a lot of the front runners. When it came to time for you to pit, was it kind of in the back of the mind that drivers have gotten penalties, just need to take it very careful through pit entry?
Well, yeah, I'll be honest with you.
All right. Well, who do you have to think behind the number 34 machine?
Amsoil, all the GGA guys, and definitely Ben. You came through. We all the time, every week. Amsoil, my old man, and my grandmother.
All right. Congrats on the second place finish, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
And that was Michael Thorpe Jr., tonight's second place finisher and runner-up. And we head to Dawson Allen's Victory Lane with Ben Lacey.
Indeed, I am down here. Celebration time for Ben Lacey, win number 2 of the season, and it comes in exciting fashion at Watkins, Glen. Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man. It's good to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, indeed it is. And this time, not on the other side as it was last week. A heartbreaking fashion to lose it. A lapper spinning, trying to fire it back up, taking you out. But this week, you're able to spin it not once but twice on lap 1. And spin at the bus stop, a spin out of turn 6, and you're able to come back mistake-free the rest of the race and win it. What was that roller coaster like going through this race?
The first one, going through the bus stop, I think Amon just did a typical thing and just overdrove the corner and got on the back. And, we spun out there. Then the tires were just hot from that. And then wasn't able to lug it down coming, I think that just before the last corner, just looped it there. And then from there, I knew we had the comp caution. So I said I'll just get as many positions as I can and pit a little early and see where that puts us out. And then it worked out in our favor and was able to get the lead and never look back.
Yeah, and you were able to do it as well. That last pit stop was an important one. You got down pit road. You were able to do it without any issues. And your 2 biggest competitors there both wound up with issues, both wound up with a penalty of some sort. As the 21 and the 02 both had to serve a penalty. What was that like, when you saw that, when you saw them having to stay there a little bit longer? Did that make you kind of feel like you had that locked up there?
Yeah, it sucks from a teammate Austin. He was quick. He had some good pace. It would have been fun to battle it out there with him for the win for a second. I think he might have been a little bit faster. It looked like he was kind of gaining on me. So it sucks for him, man. It would have been fun. And then when I saw them though get the penalty, it kind of was able to let me relax a little bit and hit the marks and not have to push the car so hard and just run some safe, consistent lines. So it was kind of a bit of relief, but at the same time, kind of a bummer for Austin.
Yeah, but you were able to get it done, though, so kept it with the team with the win. The first multi-time winner of the season. How does that feel now, confidence-wise, going on into the next few races?
Well, it feels good. Hopefully we can keep it going, keep the team momentum going. We got a win last week, and so this is our 3rd team win. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going and keep the train moving, as they say, and just build and build and build and push it into the postseason.
Well, with that, stage is yours. Teammates, sponsors, what got it done for you today here to get you in victory lane?
Yeah, teammates put a lot of work in this week with them, so appreciate them. GGA, all the work they do at AMSOIL, all the sponsors that go along with them, appreciate them for what they do. Got to thank the sponsor on my car, Filming the Wild. Check them out on YouTube. They actually just had some content drop with Nat Geo on Disney Plus here for Supernova on Burrowing Owl. So go ahead and go through and watch the thing. You'll see some of their content on there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I appreciate you guys and the Broadcoos, Josh and the Liberty. Appreciate you guys both, man. It's gonna be fun to go back and watch. And all the admins for Slide Job Racing and the sponsors that we have with the league. It's great to have you guys on board and be a part.
Alrighty, well, congratulations once again, the first multi-time winner of the season, Ben Lacey, celebrating here at Watkins Glen. So that leaves it to us. Josh, what a handful of a race that one was for some of these drivers. A lot of guys were complaining about how it handled in the later stages of the run. So seeing some of those guys able to survive is pretty big, especially someone like Ben Lacey after the mistakes earlier, able to keep it going and keep it free to the win.
Yeah, the one thing about road courses in league racing is it's not really guaranteed. You go to official races and kind of pretty much guess whoever starts on pole probably going to run away with it. And it seemed as though at first Austin J. McGill, he was going to run away with it, but strategy played otherwise. And this was a very exciting Watkins Glen race. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it was all about attrition, too. It was a big thing, just surviving the race, surviving the battle between everybody else, just not making any mistakes and getting it to the end. And we saw that happen. A lot of those guys earlier wiping themselves out. We saw it with Zach Probst, Brian C. Smith. They both unable to hold it steady, and they wound up losing it through the bus stop, ending the race. Some other drivers were able to do the same thing, making those mistakes. But in the end, it was all about control and not making any more errors, and Ben Lacey was able to do it. He got it to victory lane.
So let's go ahead and run through our unofficial results here. Ben Lacey, of course, taking home the win. Michael Thorpe Jr. finishing P2, Brian Dees in third, Bridger Olson P4, and Jamie Plort will bring it home P5.
And then after that, Austin J. McGill, fast car, probably was the one to beat, but he beat himself with a penalty on pit road, brings it home 6th. Oscar Enriquez in his debut in the Slide Job Racing League brings it home 7th. Jacob Lockbeer in 8th, Brett Bennett in 9th, and Michael Amenti rounding out the top 10. So a good run for some of those new guys.
2 laps down in 11th, Dalton Kilrow. In 12th, Zach Amon. 13th. Crazy race for him, William Turnbull. 14th, Zach Probst. And 15th, Brian C. Smith.
And then the 3 that were wiped out of that lap 1 incident, Ty Marasco, Davey Hendricks, and Blaine Sparling, they finished 16th, 17th, and 18th. Carrick Ball did not make the field, did not grid, so was not racing, but unofficially, technically, we scored 19th. But they did not run this race. So they were not there for all the chaos and all the craziness. And I think that was probably for the best for them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up our schedule. It is Michigan International Speedway next week. 98 laps there at the 2-mile D-shaped oval in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. Can catch that one same place, same time here on JCTV. Starting at 8:45 Eastern Time. And Dawson, what you think about that one?
I love Michigan as a track. I know you especially love it. That's your home track, buddy. But that's a very fun track to watch. It's a pseudo plate track, I like to say, especially for like other types of vehicles like the trucks. They run essentially like a plate track there. It's all about the draft, and I'm excited to see how the next gens run there. This will be my first time actually getting to see it happen in iRacing compared to real life, to see just how these cars will run, and it'll be very exciting what we see next week from some of these drivers.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. As you said, home track definitely has a special place in my heart for that one. But that's going to wrap it up for us here at Watkins Glen. This is the Slide Job Racing League every Tuesday night. You can catch us here and watch these guys. Have a lot of fun doing it. Wednesday night, no race tomorrow night for the MartinPC.com Truck Series. They're on an off week. They're back next week, but this Saturday, of course, another BSR in the Pits News Truck Series event. And we are at Las Vegas on that one. So more action on JCTV this week. But definitely, if you don't catch those races, come back. Watch Michigan 1 week today. So big shout out, thanks to all the drivers, all the fans watching, all the admins who put this on. Dawson, thank you for coming into the booth and watching this and hanging out with me one more time at here at Watkins Glen. Absolutely been a blast with you in the booth. I'm Josh Coppernell, and we'll see you next time. Take care, stay safe.